What's up, YouTube fragrance family? Tommy with Studio Sense here with another video review of a brand new release. I don't think it would be too much of an overstatement to say that this is an interesting release. So when we come back, we're going to take a closer look at this new 2021 release, Phantom by Paco Rabanne. That and more, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to the very first review of a fragrance that actually was created with AI input. So we've got lots to hash out about this fragrance, but before we do anything else, let's take a closer look at, of course, that presentation. Phantom is unique to Paco Rabanne in several ways. First of all, that's a lot of money to spend on a fragrance, perhaps the most that they've put into a fragrance in recent history. There's just a lot to unpack here. So first of all, the packaging. Everything about this fragrance, from the look of it to the description, says youth. So we definitely know, even though this says the new fragrance for men, that it's really going to be targeted more for youthful audience. It's a very flashy, bright, idealized version of a robot, for one, and they're trying to make use of newer technology. This is the first connected fragrance. At the very top, you've got your little Wi-Fi signal there. This also stands for something called NFC, and you Android users out there know that to be near field communications, or anything that you can tap your phone to and you get additional information. I still think it's kind of a work in progress. The very front, of course, has the R for Paco Rabanne, and that is the window that you can actually see into the bottle for your juice. The silver is actually a layer of metallic veneer on top of glass. There's not really anything that's metal on this other than what's inside the actual atomizer pump. The head of the robot is plastic and the rest is glass with that metallic veneer or cover. I do think it's pretty cool. It does make a very shiny look, but what about the juice that's inside? Let's talk a little bit about that note breakdown. Phantom by Paco Rabanne is a woody aromatic fragrance for men, featuring top notes of lavender, lemon zest, and Amalfi lemon, with heart notes of lavender, apple, earthy notes, smoke, and patchouli, resting on a base of lavender, vanilla, and vetiver. Okay, I hope you guys caught that. There's a little bit of something called lavender in here, I think. Maybe. Let me double check that. There might be some lavender. There might be some lavender. Okay, I know there's other notes in here, but there might actually be some lavender in here. So basically what's described as a woody aromatic fragrance is a futuristic looking robot. Lavender in the open, you've got Amalfi lemon and lemon zest, so it's going to be bright, juicy. In the heart is where it gets a little bit different. No, wait, not really. So you've got lavender in the heart, you've got a little bit of apple, you've got some earthy notes, and a little bit of smoke in the background there. And that's where you've got your combination of vanilla and vetiver. So based on the note breakdown, this sounds like it's going to be a very lavender heavy vanilla fragrance. It almost sounds like an oriental spicy fragrance rather than a woody aromatic fragrance, because I didn't read much wood in there. Unless there's like a cedar wood in the base that they're not publishing, there's really not a lot of wood in a woody fragrance. So let's go ahead and jump straight to the juice.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Oh, nice. So the atomizer is class. I don't expect anything less from Paco Rabanne. Phantom comes in multiple sizes. This is the 100 ml bottle, which is going to be the only robot bottle that you'll get, and it is an eau de toilette concentration. A very sweet, a little bit of a grassy green in the middle of a sweet fragrance. I say this in somewhat of a complimentary tone because of course it's a robot. It has a little bit of a metallic scents to it. So there's a pretty broad radius for scent bubble with this fragrance as an eau de toilette. So this is going to be one of those fragrances very similar to like Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Parfum. In terms of picking out the notes, there's really not a lot that you can pick out from this. There's really just a lot of lavender or lavandin. Lavandin has like 3 to 4 times as much camphor, and that's what's giving it that wide projection, that bubble, that scent bubble. This is definitely going to be a banger of a fragrance, and especially in high heat. It's going to be one of those that you're going to have to watch out wearing in high heat, I think. Because if someone were wearing this and they oversprayed and it was hot outside and you were standing near them, they're going to be carrying a massive scent bubble. So we've got Anne Filippo, we've got Dominique Ropian, Loc Dong, and Juliette Caraguazzolo. They were all involved in the creation of this fragrance, but they also apparently hooked diodes up to people, a specific target audience, asked them what they liked, and whenever it pinged a certain, pineal gland or whatever, they took that information. The AI, apparently AI was involved in the picking of the notes to create the fragrance. Now, how much it was involved, I can't say. I just know that it was involved. If an AI was truly involved in the creation of this fragrance, it's almost like taking the human element out of something that is very humanizing. To the degree that an AI was involved in this, I don't think that that's necessarily something that's super great. It's kind of cool to say, but it feels more like a marketing schlep than anything else. So if you've seen the commercial for Phantom, it looks a little bit like Star Wars Canteen on methamphetamines. In fact, maybe Paco Rabanne was thinking of Star Wars when he named the fragrance Phantom because of, obviously, Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Now I'm going to try it on skin and give you guys an idea of what it smells like. I will say this is definitely going to be one of those fragrances you want to go very light on the sprays. 6 to 10 sprays of this is going to demonize the room. It's almost like somebody spilled a bowl of vanilla full of sugar into green grass. If you guys know me at all, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I love sweet fragrances. This is an extremely sweet fragrance. The sweetness about this is very dense. I think that's the reason that there's a light metallic sense coming through, because whenever you overload something, it crosses over into a territory where it begins to take on the properties of other things. This is so densely sweet that it's almost bitter. Some of the green, the vetiver, it's a high quality vetiver, and lavender, kind of rounding the edges off of, so it's not super sharp. This is definitely a bold scent. There's a good bit of high quality fragrance oils in this, so it is very creamy. There are some good contrasts, even though there's not really any woods per se in this, unless it's unpublished. The vanilla is kind of adding kind of like a woody scent. The opening notes of lemon zest and Amalfi lemon are pretty much gone after the first 5 minutes. The apple and the little bit of smoke and patchouli just simply mix with the fragrance. You can't really pull out any specific apple note or any specific patchouli or smoke. That's all in the background. Tremendously usurped by a much stronger lavender and vanilla combination. So if you don't like lavender, you don't like vanilla, you're gonna hate this fragrance, because that's primarily what you're getting. There's really nothing in the Paco Rabanne lineup that's quite as sweet as this, so it does stand on its own in terms of that. And Paco Rabanne has released some pretty sweet fragrances, 1 Million Parfum among them. So if you don't like that sweetness, you're probably not gonna like the overt sweetness in this. This was released and meant to be a signature scent. I think it can be a signature scent for a lot of young people. I think if you're 26, 28 and up, you're not really gonna be interested in this fragrance specifically as a signature scent or as a dressed up or upscale fragrance. It's gonna be completely casual. Of course, a robot is casual. I mean, it's not really gonna be for the refined man's senses or the boardroom. So it's pretty much a wholly casual fragrance. Is it worth the price of admission? Okay, so you can pay upwards of $100 for a brand new bottle. This was actually loaned out to me by my good friend Ash from Jensen's, but is it worth paying that kind of money for it? Only if you're a fanboy of Paco Rabanne or you've got disposable income. I would actually wait until the price drops on this. Maybe not super soon, but I would look for the next 6 months. This might be in discounters for sure. But again, only if you like sweet, very sweet, heavy duty vanilla fragrances. Probably gonna get really good longevity. You're definitely gonna get a good scent bubble out of this. There's not gonna be any problem with anyone smelling this on you, but the longevity is probably gonna be right around average to just above average because of the high quality camphorous lavandin and lavender that's being used in it. Well guys, that's it for my unboxing. Well, I'll say unboxing, even though it was unwrapped before it was loaned to me. Unboxing and first impression of Paco Rabanne's Phantom. Thanks so much for stopping by though and checking out today's unboxing and my first impressions of this fragrance. I do think it's going to be worth picking up at some point in the future, but only for those that are really that they're just really all about the sweet fragrances that are very kind of youthful oriented. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.